Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial we will be decorating a St. Patrick Day themed cake, and this video is in collaboration with Mark from Epic Confections and Lorelie from Wedding Cakes For You. Don't forget to check out their amazing tutorials at the end of this one. Links will be in the description box below and in the eye icon up top. To start, I've got a pre-crumb coated extra tall cake and I'm adding on my hybrid buttercream frosting. I'm starting at the top and then working my way down. The link to this recipe can be found in the description box below or in the eye icon up top. For the middle section, I've gone in with a lighter shade of green, and for the bottom, a much darker shade. This buttercream was colored with gel food colors. Take your bench scraper and go around the cake to smooth it all down. You can find this in my website, rosiesdessertspot.com, linked below. Fill in the spaces as you go. Don't feel like you have to use the same color in those spaces. You can go in with a lighter shade or a darker shade in the light section. And when you finish scraping it all down, it actually looks really nice and gives your cake a bit more of a unique look. Continue to smooth it down until you're happy with the look of it. And then bring that lip of frosting to the center with a spatula. You want this to rest in your fridge for at least 20 minutes to harden, or you could even pop it into your freezer if you have one big enough for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to roll out my fondant nice and thin. This is Bakels fondant, and I've got some round cookie cutters. Make sure that you give it a good massage on the countertop just to make sure that the edges are nice and sharp and they don't leave little frilly bits of fondant. I'm coloring the rest with green gel food color. I have started to wear gloves whenever I color fondant because it does stain your fingers, it'll stain under your nails, and apparently that looks really disgusting. So gloves really handy at this point in the decorating process. And when you have a lot of gel like that, roll it between your hands. Continue to knead it in your hands until it's fully soaked in. Otherwise you will stain your countertop as well, and that's really annoying to try to get out. Use either cornstarch or icing sugar to make sure that your fondant doesn't stick to your countertop. And then continue to cut out different sized circles. For the darker shade of fondant, I'm actually going to be using it as a plaque, so I've conserved a lot of that fondant, and I'm going to roll out one big circle that's at least 4 millimeters thick. We want it nice and thick so that when we use a letter indent tools, it indents nice and deeply. Stick them onto your cake with a little bit of water brushed onto the back. And while we are applying them on the cake randomly, try to add the colors somewhere they will pop. So for example, you might add the white circles down the bottom where it's green and the darker circles up top where it's light. If you're enjoying these tutorials, feel free to subscribe. We do upload a new cake decorating video every week. Pop it into the fridge to set, and in the meantime we're going to emboss letters onto our fondant. So I like to do it letter by letter. I press it nice and deep, and then I use tape to help remove it from my fondant. Give it a bit of a wriggle and pre-position your letters beforehand so you know they're going to be centered. This particular letter embossing set is by Sweet Stamp, and I'll leave a link in the description box if you'd like to check them out. Once you're done, pop them back into the case and then create a gold paint. This is just vodka with edible luster dust. If you're not able to use alcohol, you can use white vinegar or lemon juice. Both of these are very high in acidity, and so they'll evaporate very quickly, and that's exactly what you want. Water might not evaporate so nicely and it could leave a bit of a mess behind. Try to use those if you can't use alcohol. I've poured it into this really fun easy squeeze bottle, and I'm filling in the indented spaces with this. I will leave exactly the name of this in the description box below, but it's also by Sweet Stamp. If you can't get your hands on one of these, no stress, just make the paint and then use a thin paintbrush to fill in the spaces instead. Having said that, this is a really therapeutic way of doing it. It's just so fun and it goes into those little skinny spaces. Because there is a fair bit of paint going in, you do need to give it a fair bit of time to dry. Mine took about 20 or so minutes, but again, because we used alcohol, it evaporated pretty quickly. If you get any coming out towards the edges, you can clean that up with a clean brush and again some alcohol just to kind of swipe it away. Clean it up a little bit more with a thin brush and then let it set. I stuck it over my circles with a little bit of water, and then for the last section I've taken that green buttercream into a piping bag with a round piping tip and creating a ring border at the very top. Add on some sprinkles just for a finishing touch. And your St. Patrick's Day cake is done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and give it a go. Hopefully you guys learned something new. And if you'd like to learn even more, don't forget to check out Mark's video on Epic Confections and Lorelie's video at Wedding Cakes for You. These will be linked down below and in the card up top. And if you do recreate this, please do tag us, #Rosie's Dessert Spot, so we can see your awesome creations as well. Or you can stay tuned. I do have another little surprise video at the end of this one. Really good for anybody right now who needs the entertainment if you're quarantined. Hope you guys are safe. It is coronavirus period right now, 2020. So stay tuned. Here's a video for you guys. I created this one for my sister's birthday, and it is a cheesecake on the inside decorated with fresh cream. So my cheesecake is baked. You can find this exact recipe on my channel already. And I'm sticking it to a cake board with that fresh cream. Because it is so soft, the frosting, the cake doesn't move around. You don't need to add a lot of pressure, so that was enough for my cake to stay centered. If there is a little dip in your cheesecake like there is most of the time, make sure to add in abundance some cream right in the center, and then use a spatula to push it out to the sides. Because the cake did move around a little bit, I made sure not to add too much cream at once around the sides at all. And then I smoothed it down and then added on an extra layer. If you add all of your frosting on the side at once, like a big chunk, you end up needing to add more pressure with your spatula as you go around, and this will start shifting the cake everywhere. So a little at a time is best with these cakes and this kind of frosting. Slow and steady wins a race with this one. Go around again to smooth it out completely, and then bring that lip of frosting to the center as you normally would. There's no need to refrigerate this because it will not set hard like buttercream. So we're just going to make sure that we're happy with the finish before we move on. And this was colored with a little bit of pink gel food color, creating a rim around the outside. And then for the very top, really simple, a great decoration, especially for beginners. I'm just creating a ring and then filling it till I reach the very center of the cake. Super basic, super easy, but looks really effective. Once you reach the middle, it's time to decorate with your sprinkles. You can try sprinkling on there with your hands. I don't want to get any of the sprinkles on the actual cake, I just want it on the piped dollops. So I'm using the lid from the sprinkles to help guide them to stay just in that area. At the very top of the cake, I just sprinkled them on with my hands until it was completely covered. And you're done. It's a very simple cake, but it's very effective at the same time. Don't forget to check out the collaborations. Please stay safe and healthy. Keep up those fruits, vitamin C in the most natural form, your vegetables, and apple cider vinegar in your water in the morning. Big immune booster. Really good for you. stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll get through this all together. I'll see you again in the next video. Oh dear, okay. Do not break. And if you do recreate this, please do tag Ash. Oh wow. Don't forget to check out their amazing, not Valentine's Day, so you can see your awesome creations as well. Whoa, what's going on here? What's up? What a Lorelie for you. And wedding cakes for you in its whole form, no problem.